And now an update on Perry County Sheriff Alan Malone. As you may know, he battled COVID-19, but you may not know that he's also recovering from a stroke and learning to manage a new diabetes diagnosis. He spoke to our Jessica Costello on his road to recovery, and it's a story you'll only see on 14 News.
Not many people do the kind of work that's so important that you call them by their title, but sheriff is one of those jobs.
Okay, Sheriff, are you ready?
Yes.
This is Perry County Sheriff Alan Malone. He's worked in law enforcement for 30 years, but he encountered one of the biggest challenges of his life in January when COVID first sidelined him. It started with what he calls the worst headache of his life.
It's not a good thing when you just kind of get dropped off at the hospital because they would not let my wife in. And I remember the first time I was in the hospital, it was very hard to see her leave, just simply because I didn't know what was going on.
Suddenly, the sheriff's job was simply to get better, but it wouldn't be an easy one. His wife Denise also had the coronavirus. She couldn't be by his side. His health failing, he was taken to the hospital and learned he was diabetic, a whole new set of challenges for someone who was already too sick.
And I was very worried about what was going on with me. I've never been sick before, but this COVID hit me pretty hard.
But his wife, and it turns out an entire community, including friends in neighboring counties, were rallying behind him in the hospital. He got a message in this hospital to go look out the window.
And they kept saying, I need you to come to the window, I need you to come to the window. And I looked out and maybe 30 to 40 police cars turned on, and I was able to see all my people there standing out there with all their overhead lights.
His spirits lifted, but his body weakened. The next thing he knew, he says he woke up on a helicopter on his way to a different hospital.
I was very scared because I had no idea what had happened to me or what kind of, how bad that I got. And upon that, I learned that while I was there, I had a stroke.
A stroke. That made even the simplest things more challenging, like counting back coins.
And I remember my very first time, they wanted me, they gave me a lot of change to count. And I really thought this was not necessary again, and I could not get past any over $1.98. So I counted it twice, and as high as I could count at that time was $1.98.
Counting coins, strengthening his mind, and physical therapy for his weakened body. His friends and family realized how much effort it probably took when they eventually did get to connect with him.
Something as insignificant as a phone call became, if I got a 3-minute phone conversation with him while he was in the hospital, became the most significant event of my whole entire day. So I'd say if I've learned anything from this, and I think if the deputies learned anything from this, don't take humanity for granted.
Over the weeks, as dedicated to his job of recovery as ever, the sheriff is healing, gaining strength, gaining the courage to open up about what he's been through. Gaining. In Perry County.
I don't know if that's ever able to be put in words. How much support I got from the entire county.
Jessica Costello.
And to see that many people coming to my aid was just an amazing thing that I can't explain.
14 News.
And Sheriff Malone isn't completely back to doing his normal duties as sheriff, but he is holding down the fort from inside the sheriff's office, and he says he's ready to get hands-on again once his doctors clear him.